welcome back to another episode of our Kings-related podcast, wherever you may be, as we continue our season review grade series with DeMar DeRozan on this episode. But before we get into that episode, if you're watching on our Kings-related YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below. It just helps us out as it shows what we're doing over here to more people. Plus, we are also available on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast. So please hit that follow button and rate 5 stars. That would be also much appreciated. DeMar DeRozan's 2024-25 NBA season with the Sacramento Kings was a blend of individual milestones and team challenges. The Kings acquired DeRozan last summer in that sign and trade with the Kings, San Antonio, and the Chicago Bulls. You had DeRozan coming to Sacramento, Harrison Barnes going to San Antonio. So DeRozan this past season, he averaged for the 12th consecutive season 20 plus points per game. 22.2 points this season, joining an elite group of players like LeBron James and the late, great Kobe Bryant. Also, this past season was a bit of historic milestones for DeMar DeRozan as he surpassed 25,000 career points on March 20th, becoming the 20th player in NBA history to achieve the feat. He also moved past Reggie Miller for 25th place on the all-time NBA scoring list on April 11th. If you look back at DeMar's season as a whole, as part of the Sacramento Kings, there were quite a few clutch moments. Well, at the time, the Kings had two of the most clutchest players in the NBA, De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan. You moved on from Fox right before the trade deadline, but if you come up with a signature performance from this past season for DeRozan, it has to be, I know a lot of people, this is at the top of every Kings fan's list. DeMar DeRozan's signature performance, it was February 10th. It was a week after the trade deadline. DeMar DeRozan scored a season-high 42 points, including that game-winning baseline floater in overtime to beat the Dallas Mavericks. That was a great game. You had Kyrie Irving, DeMar DeRozan duking it out. 2 star players in this league. The Kings win that game because of DeMar's game-winning shot. The score was 129-128, a 1-point game. Incredible. And you go and ask any Kings fan, that will be his signature performance this past season for the Sacramento Kings. You just look at his numbers. Pulling them up on Basketball Reference. 22.2 points per game. He had over 3.5 rebounds per game, nearly 4 assists per game. I think that was one of the things about DeMar's game this season was his playmaking. I thought his playmaking as the season got better, helping to facilitate finding his teammates for open looks from the field. 48.7% from the field, and then a career high. Like everybody else, DeMar DeRozan's not known as a three-point shooter, but he had a career high 36.1% shooting the three this past season. And at the line where he lives and dies, but like he knows how to get to the free throw line. DeRozan this season, 87.3%. And those numbers just underscore DeRozan's efficiency and adaptability, even as he just entered his 16th season with Sacramento. And even though like the Kings as a team, they faced internal turmoil from firing their head coach, trading their best player, like those issues contributed to Sacramento not reaching the full potential and like surpassing the expectations that they had going in to this season. And that led to the disappointment in the play-in where the Kings finished ninth in the West. They lost in embarrassing fashion on their home floor against the Dallas Mavericks in a blowout game, 120-106, where in my opinion, DeMar DeRozan was the best player on the Kings that night. He was the best player on the Kings in that play-in loss. Plus, you had a game against the Denver Nuggets where it was a game, I believe, was in Denver. Well, DeRozan after the game it was a tough loss for the Kings, and after the game, he publicly criticized the officiating, labeling the referees as terrible. And I can't remember the game it was, but it was in Denver. It was a somewhat good game. I thought the officiating was questionable, and DeRozan was fined by, I believe, $25,000 as for those comments he made towards the officials in that game against the Nuggets. So, and then after the season, like it was at minutes after that loss against the Dallas Mavericks in that play-in, DeRozan to Yahoo Sports described this season as his toughest of his career. He expressed frustration over the missed opportunities and the Kings' challenges throughout the season with everything that they went through. He also, in that interview, he emphasized the urgency of capitalizing on the remaining years that he has left in this career. Like in this league, he's in his 16th year. DeRozan's not getting any younger. Like he's in mid 30s, so he's coming down to the end of his NBA career, and he wants to maximize the best to wind down his career to his fullest. So, but in summary, while DeMar DeRozan's individual achievements were commendable, the Kings' struggles collectively highlighted the complexities of the team's dynamics and the challenges of maintaining the success in a very competitive Western Conference. And in the West, that's not going to get any easier this upcoming season because the Kings, they have a lot of work to do this summer to even, if they want to compete with the teams like Oklahoma City, the Dallas Mavericks, Houston, Golden State, the Lakers, the Clippers, San Antonio, and even a Portland, who I believe will be better. So the Kings, they have a lot of work to do this summer to get better and improve this team. And I've been very consistent on this. I don't believe that will include DeMar DeRozan this offseason, as I believe they will trade him this summer who knows where, but the Kings, they need a point guard, a long-term point guard. Either they find that in a trade or free agency. The free agent point guard class, it's not great this summer. So I highly think the Kings will probably look for a point guard through the trade market. And we've already seen names floated out there as rumors, but DeMar DeRozan's 2024-25 season with the Sacramento Kings, I would probably have to give a B plus for this season. Do you agree with me? If you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments below. If you're listening on Spotify, leave a comment on Spotify and let me know. Do you agree with my grade for DeMar DeRozan for this past season as a B plus? And that will do it for this episode of our Kings related podcast. Don't forget to please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know what your grade would be for DeMar DeRozan for this past season. Also, we're also available on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget to hit that follow button, rate 5 stars, leave a nice little review, be much appreciated. And DeMar DeRozan's season, it could have been his one and only season in Sacramento, in my opinion, and I give him a B plus, as he was reliable, consistent, and he also played in 77 games this season. So thanks for tuning in to this episode of our Kings related podcast. I will catch you next time on Kings related. Take care, and as always, go Kings.